Welcome everyone to another episode of
Why the Long Face?
where Paul and I get together and talk about
Rubbish, nonsense, silly stuff,
just
important stuff, somewhere in between that,
it's important to us and that's what matters.
and that's important.
That is important.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, well, since you're all listening, you know what we're going to be talking about. And
All of you.
Yes, all of you, all two
All
of you.
three.
Well, you gave us one more listener.
Hey.
So, the important thing is we're going to be talking about...
Game of Thrones.
That's right.
GOT.
GOT, baby. Are you down with the GOT?
You know me.
That's right. So, the first episode, everybody was kind of mixed in their reaction about it.
No, they weren't.
Well,
You
yeah.
work with some bizarre people. Everybody that I talked to was like, that was awesome.
Well, you know what? I think when I was listening it to Howard Stern, they were kind of confused.
Yeah, but don't go by what he says, because he's always like, oh, I don't understand what's going on, even know who this guy is, who that guy is. He doesn't pay attention.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying that by the mixed reaction that I'm saying, it's not just my coworkers, it's also, other people that are saying that they were kind of, just, I guess they were expecting first episode, it's got to be dragons and sword fights and all kinds of craziness going on, and it should be a mind-numbing episode. By the end of it, you go, what just happened? That's what people were expecting, and to see what happened, it was just people were expecting more, and people were spoiled. That's the problem. People are spoiled, and they
Well,
want.
were you expecting more?
I was not. I actually expected to see what I saw, which was, an episode that kind of caught me up to what's going on.
But I think everybody wanted to see Daenerys get to Dragon's Reach or whatever it is?
Isn't it? I was going to say Casterly Rock, isn't it? Casterly Rock is something else. I'm sorry, but it's where Samuel found the dragon glass. So yeah, they wanted her to get to that, Dragon's Lair, and I guess that's what it was. Everybody was just all anticipating that, but it is what it is. Now they're at that point where the story can now progress, and this episode obviously that came on, I liked it because now they're setting up all the pieces for what's to come. What's her name? Daenerys.
Mm-hmm.
Daenerys is now setting it up where she wants Jon Snow to come and visit her. And, everybody's kind of concerned about that, especially, Sansa made a big stink about the whole thing. And, of course, he had to show her, listen, I'm going, and I know you think it's the wrong thing, but I'm going to leave you in charge. And that shut her right up. Because that's what she wants.
Yeah, but is that what she wants, or is that what Littlefinger's putting in her mind? That's what she wants.
Well, you got to remember that it's all a game. So Littlefinger was just very happy to hear about that anyway.
How come every episode with him, they every time they say something, they flash back over to him and he's like smiling in the shadows?
he's like a cat with a canary in his mouth. It's just like
Yeah. Every time you see him,
Yeah.
smiling.
It is. It's true. It's just like every time you see him, all of a sudden they look over and there he is. Just he's just
Cat who just ate the canary.
Yep, he's just smiling away and just like, look at me. Yeah, and I love the part where Jon Snow yoked him up and just said, if you touch her.
Yeah, but what do you think about that? Because my wife was thinking that he purposely taunted him.
Of course he did.
But what's the end game to that?
Well, I think the end game to that is that he's letting Jon know, hey, I am here, and when you're away, I'm still going to be here. And I think that's just his way of telling him that. You know what I mean? It's just like...
But it almost seems like he wanted to rile him up to get him into a certain state to send him off. So what is that state of mind going to be when he's out there?
Well, it's probably going to be in the state of mind of he knows his sister is probably going to be influenced by him. So he's probably going to talk to his sister before he leaves anyway. I think that's what any sensible man would do anyway before he leaves. Just be like, listen, he's going to try to influence you, and you just need to be careful. But it could be something totally different too, where we don't see it coming and something's going to happen.
Yeah.
But come on, you had to be impressed by that whole thing with where they're all sitting on the ship and they're talking and they're just kind of conversating about things, and the one woman and her daughters are just like,
Mike, it was two lesbians gonna bang it out.
Well, I'm not really too interested in that part, but I was interested in
they were gonna bang it out.
I was interested in when that ship came. They were all like, what the hell is that?
Well, yeah, they were like getting romantic, teasing Greyjoy.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, hey, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And dude, it was like, boom. Now, was that the whole fleet, or just a small portion of the fleet, or just a couple of boats?
Well, if you remember, he does have the biggest fleet.
I know, but when they came and devastated, did they take out the whole force, or was this just a couple of boats out there drifting?
From what it looked like to me, and it was kind of confusing because it was at night, so you couldn't really see too much. It looked like just one major ship went and attacked the ship, and then they had other ships in the background just shooting flaming arrows or what have you. At least that's what it looked like to me. I could be wrong in my assessment.
Well, that's why I'm just not sure if it was like the whole armada that they wiped out, or if it was more than that.
Yeah, it was devastating. When you're watching that scene, you're just like, and they caught them all off guard. It was just like, oh man.
That was cool when he landed that little bridge and he just crushed that guy.
Yeah.
It was just like, here I am. Because you're like, the guy flips he flips the old man over the bridge. Okay, so he's an old man. Okay, big deal.
Right.
So then he wants to gain control, and then what? They do some kind of test. They almost drowned him, right?
Right.
Okay, so he's kind of tough with that, but okay, what does it take, I guess, for that part of it? But then when he comes in and just fucking tears shit up.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't he take like an arrow to the neck or the shoulder or something too?
It looked like something hit him, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I think he took a hit, and he's just like whatever, because he's just he's like insane,
like a berserker.
Yeah, and then but so what do you think? At the end, there was just massacre. And then here it is. He has the chick, and then he has what's his name, Eon or Rion? What is Greyjoy?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Come on, I have her with that axe to her throat." And he just looks around and just sees like, "There's no way of winning this."
Well, you got to think of it too. First of all, it's his uncle that he was fighting. So,
yeah, but he has no connection to that uncle.
Well, I'm setting it up, so just bear with me. It's his uncle.
I refuse.
It's his uncle. He had his penis decapitated.
The uncle?
No, not the uncle.
The decapitated.
It was
just the head was taken off.
Just the head.
Just the tip.
No pun intended.
Just the tip.
And then to have PS, what is that? PSD? Is that what they call it?
Post traumatic stress
syndrome. Yeah.
Yeah.
PDSD or something, or what?
Post penis.
Yes.
Sans penis stress disorder.
Yeah, and to have that on top of that, and to have been, just tortured by the other guy.
But wait a minute. Let's step. Wait. He had a very big penis too. Let's just mention that because he was like, oh, that's why the guy kind of went after that because he's renowned for going around with the ladies. So he kind of made a comment. Well, we're gonna, just remove the most valuable part of you that you think.
Well, again, they did. He had all that going on for him because unfortunately he has all this stress going on, and he just lost it. He was just like, I can't deal with this, and he just jumped overboard.
Big penis to no penis.
Well,
I thought. How about when? I guess I'm kind of jumping away. But yeah, I think he just was defeated. He was just like, "Well, I can't do anything. I'm out of here." No, actually, at first I was like, "No, don't tell me he's gonna jump." Oh, he jumped off. I was like, "No," but then I was like, "Okay, maybe there's a plan there." And then he's just floating. I'm like, "Oh, I guess not."
Yeah. At first, I'm thinking to myself, because I didn't want to believe that he was gonna do what he did, and I'm like, okay, maybe he'll snap out of this. Because he's been in this slump forever. I mean, the sister was trying to get him out of it. And
I mean, I rewatched season 1, and he's kind of badass in that because he's like sticking up with the Starks, and he doesn't back down.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. But he's in this slump because he was just tortured and just psychologically
demand.
Yeah. So
his masculinity.
Now he's like, okay, what? I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna snap out of it. He'll fight his uncle, and then it'll be done. But he's thinking to himself, okay, if I fight my uncle and I win, I'm still gonna lose anyway. So no matter what, he just kind of seeing everybody just getting. I mean, you could see like they're ripping people's tongues out and like. The one guy's ripping the guy's ear off, and like
the tongue is what like got him. He's like,
yeah. I mean,
he's cutting something off. I don't have much left.
Yeah, I mean, he lost it, and that's what I think that whole scene set up. It's just to show he's still not with it yet.
Yeah.
And then and I know the sister's not dead.
But is there any way back from that?
Well, I mean, there is. There's going to be a point where he's going to get back from it, but. It's got to be one of those personal struggles that he's got to go through.
I wonder if it was just like... I mean, in the beginning when the sister took over, I think he was a little resentful. Then he jumped on board. Is it maybe a little bit of him that's still kind of resentful of is it his sister, right, or his cousin?
That's his sister, yeah.
Is there still a little resentment? Maybe she's in charge?
He
kind of was on full board though with that, so I don't know. That's kind of a stretch, maybe.
Yeah, I generally think he wanted to help his sister.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any resentment there. I think he half-heartedly jumped on board because she gave him. That's what I said. She was trying to help him out, and I think he half-heartedly accepted because. She was trying to do what trying to get him out of that slump.
Bring him back, yeah.
And to see that he really didn't snap out of it, and it broke her heart. You could tell she was hoping that he would break out of it, and he didn't.
And he said, "Gotta go."
He said, "Exit stage left."
Exit stage left, even, etc.
Exactly.
He was out of there.
He was gone.
Hey, the place where they were at, it's called Dragonstone Castle.
Oh, there you go.
So I guess Dragonstone is Is the House
mountain.
of Targaryen? Yeah.
The mountain that they were in.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was an awesome battle scene, though. I mean, just to see, and then those chicks that at first you're thinking
they were tough. They were kind of tough. In
Yeah,
the beginning. I mean,
the
chick with the whip that's from Iron Fist.
Yeah.
She was like, whoosh, whoosh. She was like, doing a number on that guy for about 5 minutes.
She was.
And then he's like, oh no.
Yeah. What is his name? Euron?
Yeah, that's the guy. Euron.
Yeah, Euron Greyjoy. Yeah. He kind of looks like he's mental anyway.
But you understand the significance of him taking that lady and the one girl.
Yes,
right?
I was going to get to that. That was the
okay.
That was
okay.
And then,
I didn't realize that until a guy at work goes, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, like it just. I was so wrapped up in the excitement, I didn't realize. Oh yeah, now that makes sense as to what he's doing. I just thought he was after the sister, kinda.
No, well, no.
But then that made sense. I was like, oh, he's gonna give her.
Yeah, to
the chick who killed her daughter, and then her daughter to kill, pretty much.
I was going to say Sansa. To Cersei's. Yeah.
Cersei.
Yeah, because if you remember in the first episode, he said to her, or the last episode, whatever you want to say, he said to her, I'm going to bring you a gift.
A present. Yeah.
Well, a gift that is, beyond all gifts. And giving her daughter's killer would satisfy her.
Yeah, but a lot of people first thought he's going after Tyrion.
No, I knew he wasn't.
Oh, come
going after
on.
Tyrion. No, I knew he wasn't.
You didn't know he was going after that chick and his daughter.
I knew well, at first I didn't realize it, and then as the battle went on and I saw her...
No, I'm saying last episode when he said that. There's no way you had to say
No, not the last episode. No, I'm saying this episode, yes.
Mike, let me tell you a story about a guy at work. A guy at work sent us, hey, I'm having a problem with this. Can you look at this? Why this particular certificate isn't working. We looked at it and we go, oh, we found out what it is. It's because of this. And then the guy sends an email back, oh, yeah, I thought that's what it was. But I wanted you guys to look at it just to make sure. And we're like, come on, dude. That's how I just felt a moment ago. Oh, yeah, I knew.
No.
I'm like, come on.
Because, not in the first episode, but it was this episode.
It was more clear. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't remember. I really didn't remember it was her that killed her. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't even remember that part.
Because when they were just surrounding her and not attacking her, I'm like, oh...
you really almost got to rewatch a season sometimes because there's so much stuff that goes on, and you're excited to see certain things, so you zone in on those, and oh, I know this happened, this happened, but there's all these other things that you kind of, and that's like kind of what Howard Stern was saying. Oh, there's too many subplots. Yeah, there is, but there's just so many interesting characters. You got to give them each their due.
Yeah, I mean
that's what makes this world spin. Is all this shit going on.
But the subplots is what keeps you interested.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's what makes the whole world spin around because there's all these different things you want to go. Okay, hey, well, okay. What if there's two stories? Okay, I don't like that dude. Because that's one story you're not following. There's only one you're not going to watch it.
Right. Yeah. Which is true. I mean, you get into, and that's what TV shows get into sometimes, where every
time I watch the Game of Thrones, I'm like, oh, here's that part, and then they jump to another, and I'm always like, oh, here's that part. I was like, I don't go, well, what's going on? Why are you leaving that story and going this? I'm always like, oh yeah, here's that part, and then they go to something else. Oh yeah, I'm never like, oh, what's going on back there? I'm like, okay. What I'm like, whatever you're giving me, I'm waiting for that.
Well,
I didn't realize I wanted to know about that until you're showing it to me right now.
They remind you of stuff that's going on, because what they do is they give you a little piece of something, and then they go, you won't figure out the rest of it until next week, and then you forget because you're watching other stories, and then when next week comes, and then they show you that. What happened from last week? Oh, this is the continuation. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot.
But there's so much craziness about. I mean, there's so many fan sites and blogs and fan fictions about. Oh, this is what's going to happen, or could you imagine this is happening? So there's like, hey, maybe this is going to happen, and there's other ones. Oh, what if this happened?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could get just crazy with it.
Well, yeah, and I try not to get into that stuff because if I did,
I find it interesting.
Well, you know what happens? It kind of taints your view on stuff. Yeah. So that's why I kind of leave it alone because I want to have my own fresh perspective on it, not,
I don't know. Could you see reading the books?
No.
After watching this whole series?
No. Mm-mm. And you know why? And you remember what I told you about when I watched Queen of the Damned.
Yeah.
And then
it let you down.
Yeah. I mean, I it's like I read the book, and I was like, yeah. Watch the movie and just be like, oh.
Well, but there again, in my opinion, with today's how things are made today, TVs give you way more. TV shows give you way more.
They do.
About it. So movies got 2 hours to kick around an idea. TV shows you can digest, and then they evolve characters further and all that kind of stuff. What did you think was now? What do what's his name? The Grey Worm. Darnarian's right hand spear guy.
Okay.
And then her handmaiden kind of were, there's like a romance there.
Right.
And so he was going to leave. He was going to leave for who knows how long, if he's even going to ever come back. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, tonight's tonight. We're going to do something. But he's a eunuch, right?
Right.
So what is he going to do? What was he doing?
He didn't want
I mean, he went to...
He went to town.
He went to town.
He went downtown.
He went downtown.
But the thing was with them is that it was a budding romance, and he knows he can't give her what she would need.
He can't fulfill a man's duties in that way.
Right. So that's why he did not want to give her the not the satisfaction. But
did you think she was going to open his pants and you were going to see it?
Yeah, I was thinking they were going to show something.
I was like, man, they're not going to show it, are they? I think she should have pulled his pants out and there was like a spearhead there. Oh!
Shink!
That's just in case. Oh, he is a spearmaster.
Whoa.
Shink!
Like Wolverine. Shink!
But, yeah. He's an interesting character because he's always kind of like sure of himself with his what he needs to do. He doesn't come across as educated, not dumb, but not educated.
Right.
But his matter of thinking is like easy, simple, and to the point. We don't do this because of this, and there's nothing else in between that because there is nothing else in between that.
Well, I mean that's also the brainwashing that he's been through as well.
Well, a selective knowledge. I don't know, brainwashing.
Yeah,
I
well,
guess. But he's kind of free of that to think on his own. But yeah, I guess maybe he doesn't have a lot of experience to call on for certain situations.
Right, because if you think about it, when he, you think about the way he was brought up. So, at a young age, he is told, okay, you're this, you're that. You have to.
No, he told you in this one. He told you, hey, you're taught about your fears. You're afraid of water. Throw them in the water.
Right.
If you swim, you're stronger. If you die, problem solved. You're not worth keeping.
Right.
Where that dude, he goes, I am not afraid of anything until you. I'm afraid of you. Which was kind of, like the whole... All the chicks, I'm sure, loved it.
Yeah, of course. They were all like, oh.
But...
Why can't you cut off your penis?
In what he's lacking in his way to articulate himself, when he did the double slice across both those guys' throats with the dagger...
Oh, yeah.
That was the best.
He said, hey, have you guys heard the joke about shink?
But don't you remember he like the slave masters were there like, yeah, we're about to, kill all of you, and then they just decimated them with the dragons and all that stuff, and then he killed it. Like, which one of you guys? What did he say? Which one of you guys is willing to? Like, they wanted to volunteer to kill him.
Yes.
Like, one of you has got to be a sacrifice. Here, choose him, and then he killed the other two. Now go and tell how merciful she's been to let you live. Tyrion and they just all worked in perfect unison right then. It was just awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it was. That episode, when you seen it, you're just like, oh my god, because they all work together, and then
the dragons just devastate the whole fleet.
Yep. But I mean, back to this episode. I mean, some of the smaller nuances that are going on.
Oh yeah, the big one at my job was about the what's his name, Khaleesi's right hand man, or the guy that left him with the grayscale.
With the what do they call that?
Grayscale.
Is it grayscale?
Yeah, okay. It's like a weight.
Yeah.
So they were pulling that off, and everybody's like, "Oh, that hurts."
Yeah, when Sam is, he's just like cutting. What he's doing is he's cutting his skin off.
Yeah, yeah. Well, in the beginning, when the guy was like, "Yeah, there's nothing we could do," I was like, "Are you going to tell me Sam knows a way to help this guy?" Mm-hmm. And they're not going to let. I was like, they're not going to let him, and he's not going to go and try it. I was bummed out. I was like, "Oh man."
Yeah, but Sam better than that.
Well, yeah, I guess the new Sam. The old Sam was just like, oh well, I can't do anything.
Yeah, this new Sam is, he is
steps up.
He's gotten a little bit of the nookie, so he's a little bit more confident in himself. So he does step up. But
yeah, he was just gonna peel. I mean, what's he gonna do? Just peel off all that skin and then that? I thought he read something.
There's a treatment, yeah.
That there's like the guy's got to ingest dragon glass. I thought that was something he read. I don't remember hearing him read that last episode.
I don't remember that.
I thought he said something. A cure for it was by ingesting dragon glass. So I thought he was gonna have to crush up some kind of powder and make him eat it, and it would like rot from the outside in or something.
No, well, in this episode, he did say what he's got to do is take off the layer of the dragon scale, and then on top of that he's got to treat goop. It. Yeah, then he's got to treat it with an ointment so that way it doesn't come back.
And that was that gray, slimy stuff that it was all thick like porridge or something, or paint or something. Yeah. So, and he's like, "Here, bite down on this." He's like, "Please be quiet."
Yeah. I love when he goes to give him the drink, and just as he was going to go take the swig, he's just like, "Wait, me first." He's like, I gotta drink this first because this is gonna be rough.
I was like, I really thought when him having that disease, what's that guy's name?
That is Jorah.
Yeah. Him having that disease, I'm like, there's only 2 seasons left.
Yeah.
There's no way they're gonna get to his story of being cured. I just didn't think it was what role is he going to play with that disease? Like, where are they going to go with it? There's just no time to waste on that.
Right.
So I thought like you'd never see him again, and then they showed him like, what's going on here? Are they going to do something with this, or is he just like, oh, that's him, by the way? And sure enough, I don't know. I guess he has some role to play.
Well, if you remember the Daenerys told him, "I command you to cure yourself." So she wants him back, and they want that whole relationship that they had to kind of be there. With him being kind of still in love with her, but she knowing that he's more of a protector, father figure to her.
Yeah. Well, again, I watched the first season a couple weeks ago all over again, and that's where one of the episodes when they right after Drago died, they're like, they're not going to stand for a woman being in charge. So they're going to come in and have your way. And she's like, oh, you better wear your armor tonight. He's like, I think you're right. So he was like ready to defend her.
Yeah.
And he had to fight that guy. And he was kind of like slow because they're pretty quick because they just, they don't have armor. But it was because he had that armor, he was able to catch that curved blade and then kill that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, some of the things that you forget about and then you watch those episodes, you're just like,
that's what I'm saying. You can almost watch a season again and pick up on some stuff you just like didn't really pay attention to, or like, wait, why is this happening? Like, it explains something of the current season a little better.
Yeah. Yeah, and what's nice about it is that they keep it relevant, and what they try to do is they tie everything in together, rather than what I've seen in other shows where it's one of those things where they it's just like, okay, they're building up to this, but and then they mention something that never happened before, and you're just like, when did that happen?
Yeah, you forget.
Yeah.
Well, when Daenerys was having the meeting with her team,
right,
and she was talking to the old lady, and my wife was like, she like reaffirmed, like, I really like, because this was like, you're a dragon, be a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife was like, I really liked it. She's like reaffirming like that she liked, she was like, it made her smile again, some of the parts and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? You were watching and you didn't like it? What are you trying to say?
Like
I really like this show.
Like the old lady, I don't know. She kind of is annoying.
But she's confident.
Well, she is, but she's still annoying because what it is she's got all this knowledge behind her. So she thinks that, hey, I've seen it all. I know it all, and I know that this is what's going to happen.
Well, I think she's usually right, dude.
Well, not in every case. But again, it's one of those things where she's going to be overconfident. And she's more of a...
Yeah, she'll get it somewhere, I'm sure, but I don't think it will be... I think it's just going to be somebody... If something happens, it's just going to be... she might even die, like, saying something to somebody. Like, how she's all stern, and...
Yeah.
She might even say something right before... if she dies, but, she's old. Who knows?
Yeah, just like, it's kind of like the whole... with what is it, Tyrion? Peter Dinklers' character. Mm-hmm. Like, he is useless as far as fighting. Tyrion. I don't know why I couldn't say his name.
Mike, our thing. We never can pronounce the names, and we never know the people's names on this show.
Well, that's what keeps this live.
It's always that guy. That guy.
Because you know what it is? You get
one guy.
The audience is always like, you idiots, it's this. So every week they tune in just to call us idiots.
You gotta understand, we have a vast knowledge of movies, shows, comics, and other things that we have jumbled up in there.
Yeah.
So we may not be able to spit that exact thing because we're thinking about 10 other things.
Yes.
So give us a break, damn it.
Exactly. So, like, his character, Tyrion's character, he's useless as far as battling. But he's got his wits, and he's...
Well, yeah, he's smart, dude. He's very smart.
And that's what the old lady represents at this point, too, where she's useless as far as battle goes, but she, will be able to be useful as far as her knowledge. But I just don't see her as useful as, like, Tyrion. You know what I mean? I think she's more of a, and she's said it before, I've had husbands and lovers and blah 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 blah, and I've just learned to just depend on myself because I'm the only person that can take care of me.
Who said that?
The old lady.
Oh, okay.
So, that's why I as far as the characters go, she's kind of like, you know what I mean, to me.
Well, her role was, I think, more important to the chick that she's dead now, isn't she? The the hot one.
Oh yeah, she got burnt up.
Yeah,
she got burnt up.
She was kind of important to her, I think.
Yeah, I think that was her. What was it? Her
granddaughter.
Granddaughter. There you go. Yeah. So it overall, the episode was good.
Yeah.
When what's her name finds out that her Arya finds out that her family's alive, which I told you that's why she was going after Cersei's, because she didn't know that her family was alive.
Yeah. Okay. So, did you watch the information after the wrap up by the writers?
No.
Okay. So the part when she talks to her wolf, come on with me. I'm going back here. You can come with me. And then she said, "That's not you."
Right.
Did you know? Because they explain that significance.
Well, I'm sure they have a better explanation than I would have anyway.
What that harkens back is to when she was a little girl, still back in with Ned Stark alive. He's like, "I want you to be a princess and wear frilly dresses and get married to a prince, and he's going to take care of you." And then she said, "Dad, that's not me. I don't like that stuff."
Right.
Meaning that the wolf, like you coming with me, being my pet again, that's not her. That's not her no longer. The wolf no longer. That wolf has evolved to what she is, the pack leader.
Right.
So at first I'm like, why did she say that? Like, what does that mean? And then when they explain it, I'm like, oh, okay. In the books, to throw this out here like you used to do with Walking Dead, in the book there's a pack of wolves that roams around with a female wolf as the leader, the main alpha wolf, and they go after Lannister troops and kill them. And the wolf is so dominant that she won't let any males try and mount her to mate with her. She's like, of course, in the show you saw how huge she was.
Right. Yeah.
But she's like a dominant, like she's the alpha wolf, not the alpha male, but the alpha wolf of the pack.
Right.
So it's pretty interesting. And I don't know. What do you think? You think we'll ever see that wolf again?
I don't think so.
Somewhere.
Maybe maybe if there was a battle going on, and she's about to, die or something like that, then the wolf will come out of nowhere and probably save her.
Yeah, I kind of have a feeling something like that too. Like she'll be like surrounded by maybe walkers or something like that.
Yeah,
walkers.
Walkers.
By the White Walkers. Well, they are walkers. The White Walkers, and she's like, oh no, and then the wolves will come out of nowhere and help her. Something like that. I can kind of see.
Is that what they call walkers down south? All the white people,
yes.
The White Walkers. Wake up, White Walkers.
That's racist.
But yeah, I mean, when she was running off, and when she was in the tavern, I mean,
yeah, she ran into her old, the boy that could make the pies and
right,
all that stuff.
But I mean, just the look on her face, just kind of reminded me of what she probably just did, and she probably killed all those guys.
What guys?
The guys that she was with in the last episode, remember?
Oh, I don't think so.
Well, I mean, just the look on her face was just kind of like, I just kind of did what,
I didn't get that. I just thought she just moved on. Like, I didn't think I didn't think there was enough evidence there to think that she killed
and there's not, and that's what they give you. They don't give you enough to let you know what's going on, so you had to fill in the blanks, and at least that's what I was feeling like. She's getting to that point where she's depressed and she's feeling numb because she's keeps on doing it, and she doesn't feel when she does it anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah, and she was basically like on her way home. Then she saw the wolf, and then she's like, "That's not you." And I think my wife said, "Hey, that's gonna be her thinking to herself, hey, that's not me either." Going back home and being Arya, the daughter, the sister again. she's going to probably turn around and actually go and try and kill Cersei.
I don't think she's going to do that. I think what she's going to do is she's going to go home, probably find Sansa, and they might argue a little bit about what they're going to do next. Because I think, I think Arya is at that point where she thinks that she can be on her own. I mean, she's been on her own for such a long time now.
She is. She's an independent force. There's nothing she did. Out of everybody there, she needs the least taken care of.
Right. And I think that with that being said, she is going to clash with everybody now. I don't think there's going to be a happy medium with her. Unless she meets up with her family and she lets her guard down and she feels, hey, I'm safe. But then eventually she'll probably go back into that mode where she's just like, I don't need these people. I need to go out on my own.
I don't know if she'd say, I don't need these people. I kind of think like she's either not going to put herself in that situation to be with them, or I don't think she'll say, I don't think she'll say I don't need these people.
I mean, the funny thing is that kid that was making the pies is still thinking that she's a boy.
Well, I thought he mentioned something like, "Oh, you're not. I can clearly see you're not a boy now," or something like that.
No, he said you're too pretty to be a boy.
Oh, okay. I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, when he was talking to her, he's like, "Yeah, you're way too pretty to be a boy." And then she looked at him and smiled because he probably finally knew. Or probably had an inkling and then mentioned it to just kind of...
Realized, yeah.
Yeah. But, it was just funny when he said it and she just kind of gave that little smirk like, hey, you might know, or hey, you're, or hey, you're gay. You know what I mean? One of those things.
Well... I think he just wants to make pies.
Well, who doesn't?
And cakes and...
Who doesn't?
Hey, who doesn't?
Who doesn't? I mean, come on. I'm down.
For making or eating?
Both.
I'm just down for eating.
Well, I know that. That's the story of your life. But yeah, I mean, it was a good episode. I enjoyed it, and I think the next episode is going to be like really good because it's going to continue on from when the guy took the two girls and
But there's only 7 episodes this season?
Yeah, there's not much, so they're going to be rushing it.
No, they're not going to do a break, right? They're going to go right through. Right?
No, I think they're just going to go right through.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it the other day when we were talking about how they rushed The Walking Dead. I mean, the Fear of the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And I think the reason why they rushed it is because they knew Game of Thrones was coming on.
There's going to be nobody watching.
Yeah, so they said, why even try to compete? Let's just,
And it's summer, too. They'll take the summer break or whatever.
Yeah, but their show, I mean, if it's between Fear the Walking Dead and Game of Thrones, they know that there's no competition there. I mean, everybody's going to pick Game of Thrones before Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah. True that.
But
hey, and this is the age of everybody taping and DVR and all that crap.
Yeah,
you can watch both.
Or on demand. You can watch it on demand. Because that's what I do. I watch my Game of Thrones on demand because Sunday nights are rough to stay up and try to watch it when you got to go to work in the morning. But
oh, Mike, you've been having to go to work for morning your whole life.
Yeah, and I still didn't watch Game of Thrones the night that it premiered. I always watch it the next day.
Oh.
So it's nice because as I'm getting ready for work, it's on.
And then, so you watch it on the way to before you go to work?
Yeah.
You have a whole 50 minutes to do that?
Oh no! I watch like a half hour of it.
But then you gotta go to work and hear all the knuckleheads talk about it.
No, they don't talk about it. That's what I'm saying. They're really not. talking
You
about
just put your fingers in your la 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 la. I'm not listening.
Well,
la, la, la.
what I start to do is if I hear somebody start talking about it, I'm like, okay, didn't see it yet. Don't ruin it. And then they'll be like, Tyrion's dead. No!
Too late, too bad.
Jon Snow died this episode. No!
It's too bad.
No!
It's too bad for you.
Just like I have one of the co-workers at work. I call him Joffrey.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he just looks at me like, what? And I'm like, come on, Joffrey, come on. And he's just like, huh? And then,
He doesn't know who Joffrey is, or he just doesn't understand
no, he doesn't know who Joffrey is.
Oh, well, that's lame.
So he's just like, huh? And then, like, the people that know what's going on, they're the ones laughing at him. And because he's a really nice kid. Like, he's a really, like, you know, one of those kids that just does whatever you say and what have you. And it's just totally the opposite of what he is when I call him that. And they're all like, don't you know who that is? And he's all like, no. And then when they explain it to him, he's like, why would you call me that?
Why?
Why?
Because you destroy everything.
Why? Don't call me that. Actually, you know who he reminds me of? If you remember when we worked at R&S Strauss.
Yeah.
Remember Tony?
Yeah.
He reminds me of a younger version of Tony.
Happy-go-lucky.
Yep.
Kind of carefree.
Yep. And same thing. He was Italian and everything.
Oh, yeah, you gotta watch those Italians.
Yeah. But, yeah. It was, I'm looking forward to the next episode.
Yeah.
You know what I am...
Every episode, dude. I'm looking forward to every episode.
I know. But, you know, what I'm also looking forward to, and I know you're probably kind of excited about this too, but Atomic Blonde.
I'm not excited about that. It's all right.
I'm excited about it because it was a comic.
I'm not that excited.
I don't like... Well, you know what it is? It was a comic book.
Was it?
Yeah, it's a comic book that they made into a movie. And, you know, Charlize Theron trained, and it's the same director who did John Wick. So she trained with the same people that Keanu Reeves trained with. So it's going to be the same kind of realism that you would see in, like, the John Wick movies. Like I said, with Keanu Reeves knowing how to use each one of those weapons, brought a little bit of a realism to him. And, you know, and whenever he counted the bullets and he knew, you know, this one had 6 bullets, it's done. This one carries about 20, it's done. You know what I mean? He knew, yeah. And he would throw away the weapons or change the clip or what have you. That's a realism that is brought to a movie compared to other movies that just, you know, they're spraying and the gun just never runs out of bullets. You know, and according to I heard the interview of her on Howard Stern. She has her own production company for the studios. So they brought this idea to her, and she said, I wanted to make a strong lead woman movie, you know, where the woman is the strong lead. And, you know, somebody brought her the comic book, and they pitched her the idea. They said, well, what about this? And then she saw it.
What about this?
What about this? And then she saw that she read the comic and was intrigued, and that's when they decided to make it into the movie that it is, the Atomic Blonde. Atomic Blonde. But it looks good. I mean, I've seen some of the previews, and you know, I heard, you know, her talking about it, and it sounds good. I mean, the premise.
Yeah, the guys at work are going to see. Oh, as a guy, I'm doing my show tonight.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, your guys are always.
They do. As soon as the movie comes out, they have tickets the night of and all that stuff. And I'm not a fan of that. I'm like, let's do.
You said I don't like watching movies to see.
Yeah, I don't like to see it the first.
I like when they're 3 months old.
No, I usually go a couple days later. I just don't like to go that.
No, and yeah, I think you and I did that when we saw Lord of the Rings, and it was just like
miserable,
impossible to get into the movie theater. And then when we got there, we had some lousy seats, and it was just like,
that's what I'm saying. No. I just have had times when I've done that, and I'm like, this isn't worth it.
Yeah, we're sitting there going,
yeah.
I don't like this. This is not good. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure your buddies will tell you all about it tomorrow. They'll be like, "Oh, it was awesome."
Yeah, and they don't usually give it away unless like, "Hey, do you want me to give it away?" So they're pretty cool about it.
Yeah, but they're just going because it's Charlize Theron.
No, I think they like action. They love that. They like action movies. They don't really get hyped up. I mean, is she hot for like young? I mean, how old is she?
She's about our age.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She hot for young 20-something-year-old guys?
Well, she's still hot. I think she's got one of those ageless type of beauties. I don't think it's directed by, any kind of age limit. She's a beautiful girl, you know what I mean? And beauty's enjoyed by any age anyway. I think it'll if they weren't into her after watching the movie, I think they would be into her because that's how some guys are. It's a hot chick kicking ass. Whoa! Yeah. I'm in love.
Well,
done.
Yeah, she is. That's what Howard was saying too. I was listening to it the other day. And he's like, "Wow, she's so hot and she's so like down to earth." And I think that's what a lot of people were saying. That's very attractive.
Well, yeah. I mean, any girl that could. And you know how it is. I mean, you found the same kind of attractiveness in your wife that I do, and it's if you can have a conversation with them and be able to hang with them and have the same kind of interest, that's all you need, really.
Yeah. Because I mean, going out for just the looks. That gets old. After months and months, it gets old.
Yeah. Believe me, been there, done that, and it gets old really quick. Dating supermodels is just not worth it. It's not. But one day, you'll see that people will learn. I'll write my memoirs, and people will learn that the real truth.
That's true.
Yeah. But till then, they'll have to wait. So let's wrap this up.
Wrap it up. Hey, let's wrap it up, fellas.
Yeah, let's wrap it up because I'm starting to dig a hole really deep here, and I can't get out.
No, I'm gonna watch you sink. Did you see that movie Get Out?
No.
It's a messed up movie, dude. It's like there are like heavy racial overtones, undertones. It's a wacky movie, but it's kind of like really like trippy after you watch. Like whoa. But there's something called the Sunken Place. So yeah, it's definitely a good movie worth watching. But afterwards, you're like, well, that was messed up.
I'll have to keep that in mind for my cue.
Yeah. Oh wait, you know what? Before we go, one more thing. Did you see the movie The Accountant?
Yes.
We just watched it last night. Very good. It was cool.
Even though Ben Affleck has let me down in the past, I've got to say that was a good movie. Yeah. I mean, he played a character that was a little bit unbelievable because I couldn't see how he would function in real life.
So well, but
yeah.
I mean, but that's the thing is you see he learned to kind of have his ways of dealing with it, making him, I guess, more normal. His father's idea of more of everything kind of worked.
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of reminded me of Daredevil. it just kind. It just
Well,
reminded me
not
of that
to be
continuation
unpolitically
of that.
correct, he's almost like a special needs superhero, like a special needs Punisher.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. I understand what you mean. Because he does what's right, but he robs.
And I didn't know that that's what the movie's going to be about. I thought it was going to be like he's a bad guy and they got to track him down. And then when I watched it, I'm like, oh, it's different.
Yeah. Yeah. But did you explain to her that's how the Punisher is?
I did say to my wife, I was like, yeah, that's a special needs punishment.
You said it's different.
But dude,
you don't
when
understand.
he snapped the guy in the face with the belt, and the guy's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then he's wrapped around. When I mention your employer, you're gonna tell me yes.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, he just. It's funny how he had no emotion. And then to see what's his name? He looked pretty young in that movie. His character, the one that played his brother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just to see him, and he looked so young there, compared to when you look at him in the
Punisher. He's more weathered, but he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be kind of through the ringer. But I didn't see that coming. That was his brother until they made it bluntly obvious.
Yeah,
because it kept like, wait a minute, why do they keep kind of showing the brother, and then they don't? Then like, what's the significance of him? Then you're like, So like 5 minutes before they tell you, like, my wife was like, oh, that's him. I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those things where they were setting it up, and then when you finally did realize what it was, you're like, oh, that's why they showed so many flashbacks of him and his brother. You know what I mean? Showing how the brother was giving the bird to the mother and stuff like that. It makes sense now.
Yeah. All right, now we can
okay. Now we can end it. Okay. All right. So, for what's the name of this program again?
It's for blondes only.
Oh yeah, for non-blondes.
Yeah, something like that. I thought it was 2 Live Crew.
That's it. It's 2 Live Crew. So for Why the Long Face, I'm Mike LeBoy. He's
me, Paul Romanek.
We'll see you next week, or some other time, or
yes,
whenever
when we
feel like doing this again.
Yeah, when we have the need to speak about nonsense. When it's bubbles out and our wives are like, hey, stop telling me that. I don't care about this stuff. Go tell somebody else. Tell your friend. Go call your friend. What's that guy? Go talk to him about this. I don't care about this.
Exactly.
And you get very offended by that comment.
I do. All right. So, see you guys.
The end.
The end.
All right.
All right. Very good.